So now we're talking about Lab Model 12, so you see how lookups work, which is going to solve a problem I pointed out a while ago. So once again, I had to download a file first, which I'll just do right here. We need a products lookup table. So I'll go to http splk.it/product data. And this is so remember we showed before that when we did those tables, it just had the model number of the product instead of a nice friendly product name, which is probably what a manager would rather see. So that's what this table does. So if I open it up here in the Windows File Explorer, I can unzip it with right-click, extract all, extract, and I see a comment. What if I want to go back to the table that the pivot is based on? Well, it's based on a search, and I think there is a way to get back, but I'm not quite sure what you do. I'm sure there's a way to get back, but I don't really know. All right, so here's products.csv. So let's actually just take a quick look at this table. If I open with Notepad, then we should be able to see what that CSV looks like. Except I don't see it opening. Here it is. Okay. So this is the point. This is just product ID, product name, category, price, and code. So it will let me change these model numbers into other things, like categories. Yeah, from the dashboard. Yeah, Acorn, I imagine there's a way to do it, and it might come up in the second part here when we look at the slides where they talk about all the options. I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure there's a way. Anyway, so this is the point. If you have a secondary table of information that you want to include in your queries, like this, which is what we would need if you had done the IP address the way I wanted to. To identify the physical location of the consumer, I would rather have the IP address, and then I would have a table like this, listing IP addresses and locations. So anyway, that's what this is. We're going to incorporate that table into Splunk. That's called a lookup. So let me bring up my instructions. All right, so now that we've got the lookup table, we're going to go into Splunk and add that lookup to Splunk. So I go back here, into Splunk, okay, and all right, if we get to home, now go to Settings, Lookup Table Files. Settings up here, Lookups, and in the fullness of time, there we are, Lookup Table Files. And by the way, I think the previous exercise is one that it really takes 4 gigs of RAM. If you're running on a small machine, you won't be able to do it because those pivots really use up a lot of memory. Anyway, here we are, lookup table files. And now we can make a new lookup table file up here, the big green button. All right. And we can save it with some values. Okay, destination app is search. I'm going to add it. So when you do searches from the search menu, it'll include this. Now I include that file, so it's my downloads folder, products.csv, all right? And the destination file name is products.csv. All right, and save. That adds it to Splunk, sort of like another source of data. And then I do settings, lookup definitions, settings, lookups, and lookup definitions. And here you see, all right, search and reporting is correct. And click, now I'm going to make a new lookup definition because the file, okay, so I have defined that it's going to use this CSV table and save the lookup table file with these values. You have to save it twice for some reason. It gets a little confusing. All right, destination app is search. The name is products lookup. What we did the first time just made the file available to Splunk. What we're going to do now is, well, I mean, I don't really know why I have to do it twice. It may get a little more clear when we get to the, this table is now here, products.csv. It was in the data, and now we're connecting it to the search. So that's, there are 2 steps. First, you import it as a source of data, and then you connect it to search. All right, so now we're going to find all events where a user purchased a product successfully, and we're going to be able to get a chart with the real name of products instead of just model numbers. So search. All right, we want to go to the same thing we've done before, data summary, source types, access combined with cookie to get web traffic. And we want the ones with, first we got to do all time to see the events. And then we want to do status 200, just what we've done before. So successful loads of a web page are status 200. And successful purchases of a product are file success.do. So now we have the web request that actually resulted in a product being purchased. Now, here's where we're going to change, we're going to add the lookup table to it. So that is pipe lookup, and the name of our lookup, which we called products lookup, in the second stage of importing that lookup file. Products lookup, so we can look up product ID as product ID without a capital. Doesn't really matter, we're just trying to obey the instructions here. And now the output, so look up, take the product ID from here and match the product ID field in this table, which I guess that's not a capital D. All right, that tells it how to connect the existing data to the table. And now we want to tell it what we want, which is output product name as product name. So this is this products lookup here, or this product ID is the data in the original fields that we have down here. This is the name in the lookup table. This is the name in the lookup table of the other field we want, and this is what we're going to call it in the results here. So now, if we run that query, it's going to find the same events, but now there's a field down here called product name. We didn't used to have this. Now we have descriptive names instead of just product IDs, and that was the point of all this. So we want to make, I think, a table out of this, so we're going to do stats count by product name. Go back up to the top and pipe to stats count by product name, the new field that we've imported. And now we get real names and the count of various products. All right, so that's one way to use it. That's a manual lookup where you put it right in your query, exactly what table to look in and how to look it up. You can also make it automatic, which is what we're going to do now. So that field will just always be available. So that is settings, lookups, automatic lookups, which are down here. All right, and now we just have to fill in this form. So for new automatic lookup, okay, for the search app, from now on, anytime you do anything from search, it's going to do this automatic thing, which is products auto lookup. All right, and it's going to be the lookup table is the table we brought in, which is products lookup. And we can filter. I guess we can't filter. So product lookup should be in this list somewhere. I'm not finding it. That's rude. Did I forget to save something from a previous step? Lookup table. All right, I must have fouled up. So I don't seem to have a lookup table. Let me see if I can figure out how I failed to save it. I think we created the lookup table. We made a lookup definition. Right, I appear to be in trouble. Ed new. Okay, did it yesterday with success, but today I'm not having any luck. Products auto lookup. Lookup table, products lookup. Okay, let me see. It should be earlier. Let me see if I can see if we already created products lookup. Let's see if there's anything in the chat message that's helpful. Keep scrolling down in the drop-down menu. That would be a nice answer. Oh, there it is. Oh, thank you. Good. It is there. Good. Just I couldn't scroll down far enough. A simple answer. Thank you for the help. All right, so now I got to get this thing to stop hiding. Okay, so products lookup. Got to get down to where I was. All right, products lookup, and now apply to source type, which is good. Named access combined with cookie, and I don't know why they make you type this in, but they do. This is the name of the source type. All right, access combined with cookie. Lookup input fields are going to be as before, product ID equals product ID. We talked about this before. The name product ID in the existing data is going to be matched. That's supposed to be an equal sign, and I guess it is. It's just you can't see it in this unfortunately messed up graphics list. Product ID equals product ID. Product ID, all right. And lookup output fields is going to be product name. We're just duplicating what we did before. The only difference is it's going to be automatic now. Product name, there. And I also want to add another field here while we're at it, which we didn't do before, which is price. Oh, and I'm supposed to put it over here. The equals is there. All right. Product name, let me get rid of this stuff. I don't type the equals, I put it in two fields. Price, and this is going to be capital price. All right. So there it is, and I can save it this way. All right. Now I want to verify that it's working. So if I go to the search menu, which I guess I can just get back this way, Splunk, and search. Okay, and if I search for, set up that search to search all web events for successful products again, which is what I've done a lot of times, access combined with cookie, and change the time to all time. And I see a chat message happening. Product ID need to be left and right with an equals. Yeah, that's right, which I think I got that fixed. All right, and now, let me get back to my instructions. All right, and I want, okay, could not load lookup. That's a bad sign. Products auto lookup. Looks like I fouled up my lookup somehow. We'll see if it gets any better as I go ahead. File equals success.do. I got all this to work yesterday, but in here it's with a smaller screen I can't see very well. It's much harder. Status equals 200. All right. I think that's 200. All right. And now I want to do stats. But I think this is a problem. My lookup is not working. Let's see if anybody in the chat figured out what I did wrong. I probably did something wrong. I saw that for product name, but not for product ID. Okay, maybe I fouled up that thing for product ID. So let's see, how do I edit a lookup? Because my lookup is fouled up. So let's go, got to get to the top somehow. It's not scrolling. There we go. So let me figure out how to get back to lookups. I think it was create an automatic lookup definition, settings, lookup. Okay, settings, lookups. Okay, let's see if we can fix the mistake I made in my lookup. Automatic lookups are here. And there's probably a way to edit this. Product ID is product ID. Ah, yeah, price, output new. I don't know, this looks right. Product ID equals product ID. Output new, price as price. Product name as product name. Doesn't look bad. Let's click this. Now there is a diagram in the instructions showing how to do it, and I wonder if we can maybe spot if there's a mistake here. All right, I'm just going to compare this to the example. Destination app. All right, I guess product name. It doesn't look much like my example here. Product lookup, okay. The bottom part of it appears. Then apply to Product, oh, yes, this is the problem. Product ID equals product ID. You're quite correct. Product ID. I thought I fixed that, but somehow I did not fix that. That's why it could not understand it. Okay, now it looks better. There, let's try that, save that. And now if I go back to the query, which if I use the back button, maybe I can get there without having to type it all back in. The browser might remember. All right, now it says it can't look things up, but if I run this query again, maybe it will be able, aha, now it's not complaining anymore. Life is good. Okay, and let me see what the chat is saying. Yep, that's it. Your product ID was setting wrong. A. Karen figured it out. Okay, so now my lookup is working. All right, so let me get back to the instructions. All right, so I'm trying to verify that my automatic lookup is working. So I want to put, after I get the stats 200, I want to do stats sum of price. And I'm trying to use the capital letter price, because that should have been created by the lookup as revenue by product name, which is the other field that won't exist unless I got the lookups working. So if that should show me a friendly output using, oops, except I spelled stats wrong, and I hit the pipe wrong too. There's the pipe. All right. And I could have got a clue by the fact that these things didn't change color. All right, there. Now I have product name and revenue, so this is good. I now have dollar revenue and real friendly product names. So that's working. All right, and you can sort it to see what had the highest revenue with pipe sort minus revenue. All right. And now you have the biggest revenue on top. All right. And so that's it. We could save it as a dashboard, but I don't think I'll bother with that. So that shows you how you can import these lookup tables, and you do see them on the CERT exam, although, like I say, Splunk has changed their CERT exams, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. Anyway, let me stop this recording.